Good morning. Along with Miss Tonido and Miss Tuktukan, we are here to critic and judge about the reality show True Beauty. So, True Beauty is a television series in which contestants are competing to see who is the most beautiful in America. However, they think they are only being tested on outer beauty. The show is hosted by three judges who judge the contestants on their inner beauty, in addition to their appearance. So the contestants are competing for $100,000 and to be featured in People Magazine's 100 Most Beautiful People issue. This shows they are going to have challenges every week. And among those contestants, the judges will choose who are the bottom two and will be sent into Hall of Beauty. And the judges will choose who to evict and who to save. Now, I'll give the floor to Ms. Dukdukan to introduce the 10 contestants.
So in this competition, there are 10 contestants. Namely, first is Laura, a swimsuit model. Next is Billy, a vitamin store owner. Third is Monique, a college graduate. Next would be Jewel, a software salesman. Next is Julia, a pageant queen. And sixth is CJ, a coffee barista. Next is Chelsea, a model and singer. And eighth is Hadiyala, a receptionist. Ninth is Ashley, a designer assistant. And lastly, Ray, an artist. Next is Miss Diatonido will be introducing the judges.
There are three judges in this reality show, namely Noelle Marine, a celebrity fashion editor and beauty expert, Cheryl Tiggs, America's first supermodel, and Vanessa Manilo, the host.
Thank you, classmates, for introducing our contestants and our judges. For the next portion of this episode, we are to choose who are best and among the contestants. And for me, I would say I'd go for Julia, since I have a very soft spot for a pageanter. Julia, in this episode, I can see kindness within her as the challenge came about the waiter who slipped the chocolates to the contestant. She's the only contestant who asked the waiter if he was okay. And in that sense, I would say that she's kind person and she's just beautiful inside and out. That's why I'd go for Julia. How about you, Mr. Dugan?
For me, I would choose Ray because even though he's cocky or jerk sometimes, he has a soft heart because he helped Jewel and other girls to wipe up the chocolate food. And of course, he is beautiful and kind. That's all.
For me, I would choose Billy because aside from his handsome, he is also mindful of the health of other contestants in episode 1.
Thank you for that. For now, we are to rank the contestants first based on outward beauty and then on inward beauty, and discuss the ideas in your group and make the final decision. So we will post our top rank from top to bottom on the screen. See it for yourself. So I will explain why we choose Julia as our top one because again in that episode she's so kind and she also passed the challenge about not intriguing the profile of other contestants, and for me that's an additional point. And so as her attitude towards um other contestant, she's just so kind. And bonus points of her physical appearance, which is she has a great smile, she has a wavy hair, and her eyes just always sparkle whenever she smiles. And for the bottom, may I ask Miss Duktuken to justify our
And
answers?
for the bottom, we choose Hariala because for the outward beauty, she has the height, the skin, the hair, the beauty, and the face. But for the inward beauty, we observed that Hadiala had a bad attitude, which is, for example, she backstabbed Julia, and she has a lot of complaint on the first task, which is she complained about the waiter, the chocolate, and so on. So that's all.
Thank you for that. So for the next portion of this episode, we are to compare the decision of the judges. Is the order they put the contestant in the same as yours? May I ask Miss Tunida to answer this question?
So no, we come up with a different decision because we come up with a decision that Julia will be the top and CJ and Hadiala will be the bottom. While the judges come up with a decision that Billy and Joel will be the top and Chelsea and Hadiala will be the bottom two.
So now we are here on the final portion of this episode, and we are to decide who to save and who to evict among those bottom two.
And for our decision, since the judges have come up with the Chelsea and Hadiala as the least scorer for this challenge, um, in our group we decided to save Chelsea over Hadiala because Chelsea have passed on their final challenge, and based on their outer look, I would say Chelsea is way beautiful than Hadiala. And with the challenge, with their final challenge, Hadiala did not get did not pass from the challenge, and I think it says something about her attitude. Since the beginning, she has this overconfident attitude toward herself, and Chelsea, on the other hand, although she is sometimes rude to others, but she has soft side in her heart, and that makes us choose Chelsea over Hadiala. And for the decision of the judges, may I ask Miss Dukan to share the decision of the judges and compare if our decision is the same?
All I can say is yes, the decision of the judges and our decision are the same, since um, the one who will be saved is Chelsea, and the one who will be evicted will be Hadiala.
Thank you for that. And that ends our reaction and judgment about the reality show Through Beauty. So before we leave in this meeting room, we will just leave you our own definition of a truly beautiful person. So beauty for us is not perfect, and all these flaws and imperfections are what makes you who you are. The message we got across from the beauty, the true beauty, is that no matter what you do, you'll never be satisfied by that the world says about you until you're able to truly love yourself. Thank you for listening and have a nice day, everyone.